Well, hello and a warm welcome to my studio out here in the summer house. I'm Alan Casey, and today I'm going to do another creative art project. This one, in fact. This is a photograph I had taken in Yorkshire. So for today's project, I'm going to turn this beautiful colour photograph into an ink drawing using Fineliner pens. Now it's going to be a slightly different technique. I'm not going to use any pencil lines. I'm going to draw straight onto the paper in ink, so any mistakes I make will be permanent. And I'm going to use a special type of grid system that I've devised, which I haven't seen anybody else use. So I hope you join me now, or we get stuck into this beautiful drawing. Okay, it's not too hot in the summer house at the minute, but it's very hot outside. Bearing in mind when you've got ink pens, you don't want to keep the lid off for very long because I'd like it to dry out. So my first test, this is the 0.2 Fineliner pen, is just gently tap on the tape, not on the drawing, to see if it works. It does work. And I'll keep the lid back on when I'm not using it so much. So in order to draw my wall, I need to work out some kind of scale, because that's mainly at the beginning of the drawing. So halfway along and about pen distance will be the top of the first brick. So as we come in an inch, the top of the first brick is about there. Top of the first brick in the middle is about there. So very, very lightly. Now you see, I don't draw my, if you hold your pen up directly, it's going to give darker marks. I want some lighter marks, so my pen I'm holding at an angle again, and just gently touching the surface of the paper with some very light lines. So we're over here, more or less centre. Come down there, I'll just do little tiny dots. Roughly there, like so. It goes up again there. Goes up. And we're about a third of the way there, so it's about the same there. And we got that one going up there. Might be able to hear the pigeons in the background making a racket. And over here in England, they say, my toe hurts, Betty. some artists like to work from photographs in colour, but I have my line drawing basically printed out when I converted my colour photograph into what I'd class as a pencil sketch in Photoshop. That gives me some detail. So I'm now going to start filling in the details of my rocks with a series of stippling, which is little dots, and building up some of the colour, or so to say, building up some of the darker shades, and into the lighter bits where there's lichen and some of the little plants. So I'm now going to fill in my section I've already drew the basics of, and try and draw this wall using the black and white printout. As this is a brick wall, there aren't really any straight edges because it's natural stone, so it doesn't have to be dead accurate and straight. In the Dales. Today I'm going to work on the left hand side featuring the hollyhocks, and I'm going to show you a little trick to do what I class as negative drawing, which you'd normally use in graphite pencils, but I'm doing this picture freehand in ink pens, Fineliners. And this here is the black and white printout which I did from the original photograph in Photoshop. And this is what I've done so far using my Fineliner pen between the brick walls, the lovely stone walls of Yorkshire. So I'm now going to show you a little trick on this very fine detail that I need to be doing next. So first of all I need to attach my printout just above. Important to line up the side of your picture to the side of this one. I'm not going to be a slave to the drawing, so it's not going to be identical, but near enough. And using a nice piece of masking tape yet again, low tack masking tape. I'll take this one, so as you can hear that, it's extremely heavy rain coming down outside the studio. As it's quite a complicated drawing there on the original printout, and we want to do a similar drawing here, you could also use extra bits of card. So you can stick that on there and on the original printout and do little sections at a time. It makes it easier if you want to copy it to some extent. Move it around to whatever you like. So that's one of the little tricks when you get such a complicated drawing. And to help line up the cards, my little marks, which I've got on the edge of each of the sides. There we go. It's low tack tape, that'll come off nice and easy. Okay, now I'm going to use a Staithes Fineliner Pen 0.3, and as I said before, turn it on the side and just lightly touch it. That will give a lighter image. Hold it up a bit more and it will give a darker image. A lot of this I'm going to do in what we call stippling, which is basically a lot of little dots, and then gradually build up the stippling and blend it in, a bit of scrumbling, just like you do with pencils, graphite pencils. and here is the final drawing. I can print it out in black and white like this, or I can colour it in if I wish to. Of course, the other alternative is to print this out again on a separate piece of watercolour paper, so I keep my original as it is, and on the watercolour paper with the other printout I can then colour that in. So there are lots of different alternatives. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and please like and subscribe so you can see more videos like this if you would like to. Many thanks for watching. Bye for now.